An industry seems to be being built up around making spurious claims against the brave men and women of our armed forces, and that is not acceptable. That is no way to treat people that we ask to do difficult and dangerous work on our behalf. So I'm determined to shut this industry down.
Let's turn to our senior political correspondent, Sophie Ridge, who joins us from Westminster. Sophie, good morning to you. There are people within the Conservative Party who've long felt that our servicemen and women go to fight warfare and then they come home and face lawfare.
That's exactly right. There's many MPs who feel that this should have been done a long time ago, and they'll certainly welcome the fact that David Cameron is saying that he wants to make some real progress on it. On the flip side, there are also other people on the other side of the argument who say that no matter where you are in the world, you should still be subject to the law. Nobody is above the law, no matter in what capacity they are fighting or where they are. So I think it's that balancing act. So really the devil will be in the detail for this. Now, what is David Cameron actually proposing? So my understanding is that there is already some work underway to try and build up a legislative package to try and give extra protection to military personnel. David Cameron's asked the Justice Secretary and the Defence Secretary to speed up the work that's being done. And some of the things that are likely to be under discussion or being sped up, for example, are firstly the residency test, which means that you can only lodge a claim if you've been a resident in the UK for at least 12 months. They want that in by the summer. But also, quite crucially as well, another thing that could be being looked at too is a time limit, so that after a specific amount of time has elapsed, then you can no longer make a claim. The balance, of course, is going to be between making sure that the genuine cases are still heard, but weeding out those ones that are spurious. And that's certainly something that the SNP were concerned about. This is their defence spokesman.
There has to be an understanding that the armed forces cannot be seen to be acting out with the law, because if the rule of law doesn't apply to our armed forces, then to whom does it apply? But I have great sympathy in many respects for those who are currently being pursued.
So what's the scale of this? I mean, on the one hand, if lawyers from the two big companies, legal firms who are doing this, Lead Day and Public Interest Lawyers, pitch up in a town in Afghanistan or Iraq and they say, look, we've got some legal aid, we can offer you a no-win, no-fee prospect of suing the British government, frankly, a lot of people are going to bite their hands off.
Yes, if you put it like that, it does sound very attractive. There's no win, no fee, no upfront costs, and yet the amount that you could potentially get in a payoff is substantial. Now, we know that the government has agreed to pay out in hundreds of claims, which suggests that those they felt did have some substance to them. But at the same time, for example, the 2014 Al Swudi inquiry also found that many of the most serious claims had been in that inquiry's words, deliberate lies. So there clearly is a problem the government feels in some of these cases. It's worth pointing out that Lead Day has hit back. They've said that that they've effectively said that what the government is claiming is wrong, that they haven't done anything that is morally or legally wrong. And they've also gone on to say in this, they go on to say in this statement, we have a system in this country that enables people to obtain justice if they have suffered abuse, damage or loss at the hands of anyone. No one is above the law, not us, not the British Army and not the government. We cannot imagine that the Prime Minister is proposing that this should change. It's also worth pointing out that the Shadow Defence Secretary, Labour's Emily Thornberry, did receive a donation from that law firm. So part of me wonders if there's a bit of politics at play here, or maybe it's just a happy coincidence that Emily Thornberry and Lead Day have this connection for the Prime Minister.
Sophie, you and your wandering. Thanks very much indeed.